I just want to say thank you before I get started real fast that I spend about 200 to 250 days a year on the road. My wife lets me do that. And in order for me to keep doing that, I keep needing to tell her that there's full rooms that I'm speaking at. So I just want to say thank you guys for your time, because your time is super valuable as well. And so the first thing I want to start off with is most sponsors are going to come up here and pitch and do all kinds of crazy things. It's okay if I educate you guys for 10 minutes around the subject of leverage and virtual assistants? Cool. So I'm going to keep it very straightforward, guys. Like I said, I got started in real estate at 15 years old. I say 18 because I probably accidentally did a lot of illegal things in real estate when I was 15 years old that I wasn't supposed to do. Don't tell corporate. But got my license at 18, ended up building a team with my dad to about 35 agents before I sold out my piece of the team. And then I started a coaching company. Who in here loved COVID? Anybody love COVID? Let me ask you this. I started Sphere Rocket, a virtual assistant company, February 15th of 2020. Who wishes they started a VA company February 15th of 2020? Does anybody know why? Because everybody became virtual, right? You know, I always like to say I put in a lot of hard work, but a lot of it, humbly, was just a lot of luck. And so over the last few years, these stats are a little old, we have 4,500 customers and about 7,000 virtual assistants. About 3,200 of those live within the EXP system. I'm an EXP agent myself, so I do production, I have revenue share groups and things like that, but my specialty of what I do day to day is virtual assistants. And so I say this, I have to fly to Orlando, but I'll be here most of today. So if you have any questions about assistants, virtual assistants, anything like that, I want to be a resource to you today. Who in here, just to gauge the room, who has an assistant in here right now? Who wants an assistant one day? Are you guys okay if I show you the path to how to have free assistants? Okay, I'm going to show you guys a path there. So my tactical goal is to show you, I'm going to give you guys, since I'm from EXP, I know not everybody in here is from EXP, so welcome. But from my experience at EXP, from my own production, the teams that I've served, at one time we had 10 of the top 15 rev share leaders using our virtual assistants. And so I want to show you exactly what they were using them for. One of the things when I got into real estate at 18 that I did not know was going to be an issue is I didn't know I was going to have to be responsible for so many things. This right here is at some level, it can differ US to Canada, but at some level, this is what you are responsible for on a daily basis. Would you guys agree? All of these things, it's always going on in your mind. Some of you guys have transaction coordinators, some of you guys have assistants showing whatever. But at the end of the day, these are what you're responsible for. Now, you guys have more responsibilities than this. You have kids, you have spouses, you have things that are more important than even this. And so I want to talk to you guys through that. I'm going to tell you a brief little story. At 18, I was making about $360,000 a year. At 21, I hit my first $1 million. But I'm going to tell you guys, here's the problem with it. I wanted to make my first $1 million out of ego and do it all by myself. I wanted to go around to be that person that said, I made $1 million all by myself, no assistants, no team, nothing. Does anybody know what that led to? Burnout. Every addiction that you can think of, I probably had. And it was because I was working so hard to provide for my future family, for my current family, that ultimately I burned out, and it did the opposite of that. I'll tell you, when I was about 21 years old, I hired my first virtual assistant at about $3 an hour. So all 7,000 of our VAs are based in the Philippines. The average, we've been launched in Canada for about 4 years now. We average about $6 Canadian per hour with our virtual assistants that are here. My first virtual assistant changed my life. Now, how many assistants would you guess it took before I found the perfect one? About 5. And all 5, at the time, I said, my assistant sucks. Do you know what actually sucked? Do you think it was the assistant or do you think it was me? I was young, dumb, and I lacked leadership experience. A lot of you guys, especially that are older, you have great experience in a lot of things, but a lot of us don't have a lot of experience in leading a lot of people. And so I always like to say, if you've had an assistant before or you tried leverage, don't give up, because it's one of the biggest things that can change your life. When I look around at people that I want to be like, that have good lives, not people that I want to be like because they have a lot of money, not people that I want to be like because they seem cool, but when you get to know them, they have a great relationship with their wife or spouse. They have a great relationship with their kids. They make a lot of money and change the world. Do you know what every single one of them usually has more than I do? They have more leverage. You guys know the teams you want to be like? They usually have more leverage. You know the person that has usually more revenue share in their revenue share group? They have more leverage. You know that person that gets to go on vacation and actually not answer their phone on vacation? They have more what? Leverage. And so I want to just challenge you guys that. I'm obviously biased to virtual assistants, but even if none of you got virtual assistants ever from me and you just walked away and said, I need to apply some more leverage in my life, I would be stoked and it would change my world. So here's why I personally prefer virtual assistants. Number one, it protects profits. Number two, it's an increased pool of talent. I'm obviously an EXP agent. Why do you think I love that we're global? Because of the amount of talent you get to meet that's just not in your local area. I'm from a really small town, so when you hire virtual assistants, you can hire them from any country in the world. And I'm from America, guys. We're not the smartest. So when I get to hire people from across the world, it makes our economy just way stronger. Number three is to learn leadership skills. So these are the top 10 positions that we hired last year in the virtual assistant space. Obviously, one of the number ones we hired is revenue share focused VAs. And real fast, I forgot something. Mike, can you bring me that book for me, that PDF book? These are the top 10 positions that we hired. Here is the average US dollar per hour or per month that we spent. This comes out to about 870 Canadian dollars when you convert it. So our average Canadian client, which we have about 500-ish VAs working with Canadian clients, averages about 870 Canadian dollars as far as that goes. Here's the top limiting beliefs when it comes to virtual assistants. A lot of people won't have virtual assistants because of a language barrier, an education level concern, security, monitoring, payroll. They're concerned on how do we communicate. Has anybody had those concerns before? Because the virtual assistants are coming from a foreign country. So I want to kind of help you guys break those. I don't have a ton of time to go through each one of those, but I'm going to provide you guys a resource to work through how you would protect yourself against all of those. So, real fast. Who in here, again, would like to learn how to get a free virtual assistant? Who in here understands EXP's revenue share model? Who understands icon status? Who are the icons in here? Who wants to be an icon one day? Guys, so just real fast, if you don't know, at EXP, if you sell enough homes and you become an icon agent, they give you your cap back. Does that make sense? Basically, you're at the company for free, in my opinion. And so we created a virtual assistant company. It's why we grew to 7,000 virtual assistants, is we are the first company that we know of that actually allows you for us to pay your assistant's salary. So we are a revenue share-based virtual assistant company. And so here's what I'm going to leave you guys with. I'll leave you guys with how you can learn more about that revenue share base. But as I go stand in the hallway, here's what's going to happen. People are going to ask me a question and go, Justin, what should a VA do in my specific business? How many of them should I have? What would I have them do? How fast should I hire one? Should I hire one now or should I wait because I need money, or maybe I have so much money and I just don't have enough time? Or how do I make sure that they don't fail? Do you mind if I talk to you real fast? Can you ask me that question? What VA should I have?
Which VA should I have?
If I gave her any answer right now, do you think it would be a genuine answer? Because I don't know what. I don't know you. I don't know your style of business. I don't know how you lead generate. I don't know if you do past client referrals. I don't know your income. I don't know if you have $1 in your bank or $5 million in your bank. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Well, I can't tell you this is what VAs you need. And so what I did I interviewed roughly the 3,000 EXP clients that we had that spread those VAs across, and I wrote a 900-page manual for virtual assistants. You guys okay if I give that to you? No obligation. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to, give me money. You don't have to sign up for VA. I just want to give you this manual. Some of you guys in here have VAs. This will change your life. Some of you guys have in-person assistants. This will change your life. Some of you guys have literally no assistant, and you're like, how would I even start? This will change your life. We used to sell it. We don't anymore. This cost me about $400 to print. So if you guys are cool with it, my team real fast is going to pass out a sheet of paper that you'll just sign up for a copy of it. You'll turn it into our booth sometime today, and I will give you one of those. Is that okay with everybody? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Now, with that being said, I have to fly to Orlando from midnight to 6 a.m. tomorrow. If I die in that hurricane, please buy as many VAs as you can so my wife can survive. Is that fair? Yeah. All right, because I'm a little scared. The turbulence here was bad. I'm a little scared going back. But here, real fast, while they're handing that out, here's what I want to show you what's in that book. I have over 30 positions in that book that are real estate specific, and here's what's in there. I break down every position. So if you need a video editor, here's an example. I have the top 50 tasks when surveyed of what our clients use a video editor for. The next thing is we have a 30, 60, 90. This is what the video editor should do in their first 30 days with you, the next 60 days with you, and the next 90 days with you. Everybody following? Is anybody ever concerned on how to keep your team members accountable? I also have the KPIs. It literally will say if they cannot complete this by this date, that is when you fire them. That is when you get them out the door. The next thing we put in here is we created the daily schedule for every single assistant position that you should have within your company. So for the video editor, it says what they should be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is great for if you make a hire that you know you need, but you don't know exactly what they should be doing. We also give you all the softwares that those positions use and anything along those lines. Has anybody ever heard the word SOP? Who loves writing SOPs? Guys, an SOP, you guys ever do that exercise in school where it's like you have to write instructions on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Technical communication. This is how I do this, right? This is how I'm going to write a process for my assistant. We wrote SOPs for every single position that are in that book as well on how to do specific things. I do have a Canadian off version of it too that you guys will get emailed that has very specific things because your guys' MLSs are a little bit different. Your rules around transaction code, your privacy laws are all a little bit different. So I'll have that as well. With that being said, back to you, ma'am. When you ask me, what kind of VA do you need? I don't know because I haven't had time to ask you questions. So when you guys turn in this card, I'm also going to give you guys a copy of our time audit. When you fill this out, you'll keep it, and when our team will review it with you, we'll be able to shoot out what VAs we think you need. Now, what can you do with that document? When I say you need a marketing VA and you need a client care manager, what can you do with that now?
I now know who I need to hire.
Well, sure, but even if you didn't hire me, that's fine. You can go find your own VAs, you can come through me, but at least you have something to make a goal for. Even if you can't afford it today, we'll even tell you that. Like, guys, do you think I want to take your last dollar to hire an assistant? No, because that's not good for you or the assistant when the assistant doesn't have a job anymore. And so this time audit, it's a really cool thing that we put in there as well. For you, when you answer those questions, it will spit out a score and it will tell you what VAs you need. Because if you're a solo agent and he has a team of 500 agents, it's a very different form. This is designed for those that make between 0 and 4 million in GCI. If you need our higher version, just ask for me and I can get you a copy. So, to recap, I got a minute left and I promised I would not go over time. At the next break, which I think is like 1 o'clock or so, just bring those out to our booth. We'll take them and then we'll give you a copy of that book. You guys good with that? Okay, with the last 45 seconds, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to talk to you real fast about our revenue share model. Let's say you need to come and get a VA from me, okay? Let's say your VA costs $900 a month. Let's say you pay $500 a month to me for all my services, all the coaching I do. You're all in $1,300, $1,400. Now, let's say you convince him he needs a VA. For the first referral that you send me, I give you 100% of the revenue back to you. So you guys ever have referral fees and things like that? You guys understand that? We pay a 100% referral fee on your first referral. Now, for those in here that are smart at math, what does that allow for you to do? It allows you to have a what for free? Yeah. Now, let's say you convince him to get one too. Now what do you have? You have your salaries being paid for your team. Guys, when I first started getting virtual assistants, I didn't have a lot of money as I was building my businesses. And so what I would do is I would refer companies to be able to do that. Now, we're not trying to build a multi-level marketing or anything like that. We really duplicated a lot of what EXP had to do. I learned a lot from Glenn over time, the model. And so if you ever want to consider the way to have a free virtual assistant, we are absolutely the model to do that. And so when you take that card out there to the booth, there's going to be iPads littered across the lobby if you haven't seen them already. Those iPads will, number one, lock you into that revenue share deal because that's only something we're doing for Build. I think I have like 11 more builds to go to over the next 3 months. That locks you into the revenue share agreement for life. You guys good with that? I will say this, without sounding pitchy, please sign in on the iPad and schedule a time to do the audit session, because even if you don't need a VA today, it will lock you in for life on that recurring revenue model. So with that being said, I'm 20 seconds over. Thank you guys for considering that. We'll see you guys at the break later on today. Thank you.